Hello everyone, this is V and this is the spotlight video for Venice. Venice, as you probably may have already known,
Greeting,
is
most
perhaps
assert
my
Doge
favorite
Enrico
civ in the game.
Dandolo of Venice, master of statecraft and
It's
shrewd negotiator.
definitely different,
Although you
it's
rose to power
unique
late in
and
life,
it's
old age did little to
amazing.
slow your cunning or
Venice has a very special starting bias. It has the not just a coastal start bias, but it has the top coastal starting bias, and I think I will move the settler to here. So it will almost always have the best, although what is best of course, the best coastal start in the game. So look at this region, we have luxuries, 1, 2, 3, we have bananas, we have 2 fish, we eat sheep, and yeah, and even a bunch of rivers. So it doesn't really get much better than this. Venice has a small problem. As you can see, we cannot build settlers. Is that a problem? Yes and no. It certainly shakes things up. So how do we expand? We expand by using merchants of Venice, which are modified great merchants, and we can use them to buy city-states, puppet them for our empire, and that can expand our land. Of course, the other option is just conquering stuff, and oftentimes that is the better way to go. Since you have a lot of free production early on to build units, you can just conquer a neighbor or two neighbors pretty early on, and then there is no need to build your own cities. Problem, of course, is that this only really works on deity and immortal. On lower difficulties, yeah, it can be iffy, and you will have to rely on buying city-states more often. The Merchant of Venice is not just that. You get a free one when you research optics. So yeah, you get a free Merchant of Venice. So when to pop optics is an important choice to make. And we are still not done. The Merchant of Venice, if you sacrifice him for gold for the trade mission to a city-state, you gain double that amount. And this stacks with commerce. So you would get 4 times the amount of gold for sacrificing a great merchant. Yeah, that's this one. So yeah, getting this and then sacrificing it can mean a few thousand gold in the mid-game. Other than that, we have yet more special abilities. We can buy stuff in puppet cities, both units and buildings. And that means that although everything will be puppeted, we can just buy units there to continue conquering, but we can also buy, for example, barracks in a puppet city, which you normally cannot. So the natural combination of Venice plus autocracy is very strong, and on top of that you can buy religion buildings in your puppets. So having a religion or just other buildings having their own religion means you can just buy mosques, pagodas, etc., etc. And all that adds up to a huge puppet empire if you go conquering, and that is the way I prefer to play with Venice because it's ideally suited. I think it's the best civ in-game for autocracy, late-game conquest, and even early to mid-game conquest as well, since it has all these nice things going for it. And we're not done yet. We have the Great Galleass. It's a Galleass, so yeah, it's not that powerful. It only has 3 move, but it has 20 ranged strength and 18 regular strength. It does cost quite a lot to build, but this unit can serve as an early version of a frigate. So you can actually build a few Great Galleass, take cities with it, level them up, and they will be pretty good. And then when you upgrade them to frigates, they will be good to go and go on a conquest run. Although it's not really needed, it's just a little bonus. If you thought we were done with talking about Venice, no, we still have one major benefit of Venice that we haven't mentioned. Venice gets double trade routes. That's pretty insane, but it means that every time you would gain one open trade route, you instead gain two. And that changes a lot because it means you can easily devote 2 or 3 to internal trade routes to build up Venice and still have 15 or more to go. Also means that if you can build, for example, the Colossus, which should be possible since you have a strong starting ocean location, that you will get not one but 2 bonus trade routes, making things even better. And yeah, with all that gold and growth, you can imagine Venice being an absolute powerhouse, even regardless of what victory condition you are aiming for. Because of all this, Venice is suited for every victory condition. The trade missions make it easy to acquire city-state allies. Um, the extra gold makes it easy. The the possible growth makes it easy to just build up Venice very tall to get massive amounts of science. You can go culture, although I think that's the weakest victory condition for Venice, but it'll still work because you have all these bonuses. But yeah, autocracy, buying units combined with commerce, which you naturally go for with Venice because of the quadruple trade mission income. It's just really sweet and almost perfect in every conceivable way. I can't really think of any civilization that has such a good autocracy follow through as Venice, because of the combination of all these benefits: the extra gold from trade routes, the extra gold from merchants, the extra gold from well, having a great coastal start, which means you can make all of these sea trade routes. Yeah, it's just absolutely phenomenal. So for me, Venice scores a 10 on any map with water on it. It doesn't even have to be an island map. You can just take Pangaea and you will be at the best coastal spot. It is a little worse if you have a landlocked map, so then it goes down to maybe an 8, but I never do that since it just detracts from the game. It's also not realistic. So for me, I always go with the random map type unless I have a very good reason not to. And yeah, for me, Venice is absolutely my favorite civ, and deserved 10 out of 10. Having said that, Venice is not easy to play. It is rather advanced because you have to know what you're doing, you have to be able to wage war, you have to know how to optimally use low amounts of cities. You will have to play the diplomacy game because people will forward settle on you, and yeah, it can be challenging. So you might want to avoid this if you're just starting out, but once you get there, it's extremely rewarding. That will be all. See you next time.